Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to Technical Router. In the previous class, we have started with the OOPS concept and we have been started within that in constructor concept have been started. And I explained about the syntax properties and some one small example on the constructor. Now let us go some more examples based on this constructor. Okay. Now let us see how to design a constructor. Okay. I'm going to take I have taken one the class, the test class with the main method. Okay. I'm going to take one more class, student. Yeah, I already told it. The constructor name will be a same as a class name, right? The constructor name will be a same as class name, and the constructor does not have any return type, right? Only an access modifier and constructor name, right? Only an access modifier and constructor name. I have taken one class, the student class. I'm taking some of the instance variables. Instance variables means the variables which are defined outside the method, inside the class, outside the method without a static keyword. Okay, they are the instance variables. I'm going to take three instance variables of an string name, student name, and the student course. And I'm going to take is the student mobile number. Okay. Okay. Now let us create a constructor. Access modifier student. Is that correct? The constructor name is correct, right? The constructor name is correct. The constructor name should be same as a class name. The student is a constructor name. It isn't same as a class name. Now I'm going to pass this instance variable as an inside the parameter. Okay, inside the parenthesis, I'm going to pass the same data type of the instance variable, but a different variable name for them. Okay, string n string c uh, long L. Okay. I taken an local variables of an same which are taken in instance variable of the same data type, but their variables names are different. Okay, but their variable name are different. I taken in these kind. Okay. Now let us initialize these local variables to the instance variables. Okay. Now the instance variable name is equals to n courses. See, these things, these are the name left hand side of the equals. Okay, assign the equal symbol. These are the instance variables. These are the instance variables, and these NCL are the local variables. Okay, I have initialized these local variables to the instance variable. Now let us display. I have taken one more method, public void display. Just print. So I printed an name, course, and mobile. Now let us access those things in the main method. We have to access means we have to create an object for the student class. These are the instance variables. Names, course, mobiles are the instant variables. Okay, let us create an object for the student s is equals to new student. This constructor I have taken with an three parameters, right? I have taken with the three parameters, string n, string c, and string l. Okay. I have to pass those things. I'm taking a name as an Kavya. She is doing a course CSC. Okay. Her mobile number is something. I have taken in one student. Okay. The student S1. I have initialized it for a student with a name, course, and then her mobile number. Okay. Let us print. To print, I have a display method. So object reference dot display method is there. Let us print now. I'm going to get an output as an name, class, course, and then mobile number about the Kavyas. Okay. Now I've taken only one student, right? I have taken only one student data. If I want to take one more student data means I have to create an one more object. Okay. Student S2 is equals to new student. I'm taking one more. I'll take an boy name. Raja. His course is doing an EC. And his mobile number is something. Okay. Now I have to display, that means object reference dot display method. So I'll get an output as in first it is going to display as do dot display. It will print a Raja, his course and mobile number, and it is going to display S1 dot display, that is in her Kavyas. Okay. Let us execute. See, I got Raja's name, course, and mobile number. After that, I got a Kavyas. This is an way we are going to design a constructor. Okay. This is one way we are going to design a constructor. Okay. Here I have printed a name, course, and then mobile number. If I want to print a single variable, okay. If we want to print a single variables means we have to use it the s dot s1 dot name or mobile, or here is there, see, s1 dot name, mobile, or code. I am going to print only a name. Okay, not this. So I am printing only an Kavya's name. Okay, not any her course or her mobile number. I am going to print only her name. Means I am going to use this kind of printout statement. Okay, only an object reference dot only name means, and that instance variable name, or a course means course. We are going to change course, or mobile number means mobile number. Let us print. I'm going to get an output as an only an CSC. Okay. See, I got output as an only CSC. If I need only an Raja's name means the Raja is stored in the second students, right? S2. It is stored in the S2. So I need her name. His name means S2 dot name. So I got it Raja's name. Okay. In this way, we are going to do that. Now, here, these are the instance variables. Okay, these are the instance variables. These are the local variable. I have taken and the variables names of an instance and local variables names differently, right? If I'm taken here an instance variables and local variables differently, variable names. For a name, I have taken an N. For course, I have taken an C. For mobile number, I have taken an L. Right? If I take both of them are the same variable name, right? Let's see what happened on that time. On that time, it will print in default values. Name, course, but see, I had taken and both the instance variables, variable name, and then the local variables names, both as in same, right? Both are taken as in same. On that time, if I'm going to print it down means I'm going to get a default value. Let's print it. See, I'm getting a default value, null 0, because here that means an JVM get confused. Okay, in these cases the JVM get confused whether these are the instance variables or an local variables. Okay, on that time we are going to use and to provide and differences between these instance variables and local variables, we are going to use an this keyword. Okay, we are going to use this keyword. That means if an instance and a local variables have given with the same name, okay? See here, if an instance, these are the instance variables, these are the local variables. Both the names has been given and same. On that time, the JVM get confused and printing, it is going to print an null values, right? It is going to print the null value. To avoid that, we are going to use this keyword, okay? We are going to use this keyword. It is a predefined keyword. Is a predefined keyword. It is used to access instance members of current class. It is used to access an instance member. That is an instance. These are the instance members, right? These are the instance members. To provide and to access an instance members to the current class, we are going to use this keywords, right? Those this dot, right? Now it is clear, right? Now I'm going to given this dot name is this means it is going to access the instance members, right? Thus this keyword will access the instance members of to the current class. I'm going to print it down now. This dot name. Okay, that's clear. Now let's run it. Now I got the correct value of the output, not any default values. Okay, for these reasons we are going to use this keyword to access an instance member. See, to access an instance member, this dot name, this is an instance members, this dot course, this dot mobile, and we are going to initialize these local variables to the instance members. So I'm going to print those instance members. I'm creating an object and printing out of them. Okay. Let us do one more coding question on this. I'm going to create one more class. I'll create an sample. Let us do same as for an employee data. Okay. I have done for an student data, right? Here we are done for a student. We're done for student data. Let us do the same kinds for an employee data once again. I'm taking in class employee. Okay. Let's has an employee with an IDs and employee ID and its design. Okay. Int ID and string is design. Now I'm going to create a constructor employee int ID string design. Right here, see both the instance variables and then local variables having a same name. To provide a difference between both of them, to access an instance members, we are going to use this keyword, right? This dot ID is equals to ID. This dot design is equals to design. Now let us print them. Public void display this. Okay. Now let us access these data in the main method. We have to create an object for that class. Employee even is equals to the employee of ID 2 and 211 and his design was an that means and designation. Okay, that means a design means designation. I've taken this equal. And his designation is in manager. Let us take. Okay, let's print now. That is an E1 dot dis. Okay. This is how we are going to create a constructor. So I got an employee ID and his designation. If you want to create one more employee means, no, once again I have to create an object for another employee. For n number of employees, we have to create an n number of objects. Okay. To avoid that, there is one more solution. In the later class, I'll explain that. Do not one is an admin. Now E2 dot dis. Okay. I got an first employees and then second employees data. Okay. In these ways, we are going to create a data. Now, one more question we have. It is mandatory to have an every class and constructor means yes. It is mandatory to have an every class should have a constructor. Okay. If normally if you are not giving any constructor means the Java compiler will supply the constructor. Okay. The Java compiler by default it will supply the constructor. If the programmer does not given any constructor means then the Java compiler will give the constructor. Okay, supply the constructor. Now is it default constructor. When there is no constructor means on that time the Java compiler will supply the constructor. It that is mandatory to have an every class should have a constructor. Okay. When no constructor means by Java compiler will supply the constructor. Okay, the Java compiler will supply the constructor. If there is no constructor means if you are no programmer does not given any default constructor means on that time the Java compiler is going to provide a default constructor. Okay, for example, let me create one more class. Example. Here is a class. Okay, here is the class, but there is no constructor. Right? There is no constructor. That means, and the Java compiler will defaultly it will providing a constructor. That means that the Java compiler is by default it is providing a constructor. Okay. Now let us take one more. I'll create one constructor. This is a programmer defining constructor. Okay. Is a programmer defined constructor. The default constructor will not have any arguments. Okay. The default constructor will be having no arguments. Okay. The default constructor does not have any arguments. So this is an example. The default constructor will be with no arguments. Okay, that means it does not have any arguments. By default, the every first line of the constructor there will be a super keyword. Okay, there will be a super keyword. Okay, by default, every constructor will have a first line of code as a super. Okay, super function. For example, now I can have an only example. There is no need of an having an access modifier also because access modifier of the default constructor is same as the access modifier of the class. Okay, the access modifier also if don't give means also it will default it is a public only. Okay, default it is public. This is a super function or an super method or a super call. It is an every constructor will be having that super met function. Okay, it will also supplied by the Java compiler only if there is no. For example, I'm taking and one more. Okay. This is not an default construct because this is given by the program, right? I am typing the program that is not given by any Java compiler, right? This is not a default constructor because it is this constructor is supplied by the programmer. That means the user. Hmm? Okay, these are about the default constructor and constructor topic. Now let us move. I'll write some points on this. What I told you that means, and the default constructor will be having without arguments only. Without arguments. The default constructor will be with no arguments. Okay. The second point is the access modifier of the default constructor is same as the access modifier of the class. We don't give any access modifier also. By default, it is public. Okay. That is in one point. And by default, every constructor will have a first line of code. It is a super function. Okay. We'll have first line of code as super function. Okay, it will be having a first line of code as a super function. These are about the constructors. Okay, now I have told you that the OOPs having a four pillars, that is an encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. Let us go for the first one, that is an encapsulation. Encapsulation means binding and logically related data into one simple entity or one simple class, that is called as an encapsulation. Okay, that is the right definition. Binding logically related data into one simple entity is called as an encapsulation. That means, and now let's, for example, I'm taking one more class, that is a car class. Okay. Now in this car class, I can have only features of the car. I don't want any other features of any bikes, bus, or any other travelers, whatever you're using in vehicles. I don't need that much. I need only and then features of the car. Okay, that I can have an the car number or an car model, which year, or what was the fuel. Okay, only about the car data is I'm going to write it in a one class. Okay, now I need an other class data means other vehicles means I'm going to use an other class. Okay, this that means only in the first thing, binding and log, that means in grouping. Okay, binding and logical related data into one simple entity. The logical related data means that is and only the features of an car class I'm going to group in the one class. A bus class means other thing, or I'm going to take some more things. The features of an bird. Okay, then the feature of an bird I'm going to group it in one class, or I'm not going to mix it of everything. And feature of an animal. See, what are the features of animals? That is that both a bird and an animal are closely mixed? No, they have an separate features. These animals have an separate features, right? So only the features of birds in one class, only the features of animals in other class. Okay, that means in logical related data, the bird related data is I'm grouping in one class. The animal data I'm grouping in other class. This is only an encapsulation. Whatever data is logically related, that data should be enclosed in a encapsulated in one class, not of mixed of it. Okay, not in mixing. Not should not be mixed. Now, what are the advantages from these? What are the advantages? By using this, we can understand the code easily, right? If we mix it of everything, if we mix it of everything, when I'll get somewhere error, okay? And if we mixed of everything, means if I get in somewhere error, I have to come from starting of the code. I have to come from starting of the code. If we not having any mixed features, means only I'm getting error in the bus, means I'm going to check only inside this class. I'm getting error in animal, means I'm going to check only inside this class. Okay, for easy to understand also. So if we go for class, means car class, means I'm going to get in with only data about the car. Bird means I'm going to get in data only about the bird. Bus means bus the. Okay, animal means animal data. Okay, for these kinds of reasons we are going to use an encapsulation. The first advantage is an The first is a code readability and understandability. To understand the code and to read the code, it is very easy. Okay. To read the code or to understand the code, it will be very easy. To understand the code means only about the car class, and I'll get if it is only about the car. Bus means bus, bird means bird, animal means animal. So if I get an error on bird, means I'm going to check only the bird class. Okay, so on that time it will be very easy to understand. Okay, it will be easy to understand and easy to read. Now, code maintainability. Next advantage is code maintainability. Code maintainment is easy to fix the errors. Somewhere I'll get the errors. I'll see which line, what about the error. I'm going to get and some error only in the burst. Okay, I'm going to go inside the bus class. I'm going to rectify those errors. Now, if you want to add some more features, means it will be very easy. Now, I have to add a new feature on the bus, means I'll go inside the bus class. I'm going to add a new feature. Okay, there won't be any mixed of the code. So these reasons we are going to use an encapsulation. This is about the encapsulation. Code maintainability means that it is easy to fix the errors and to need easy to add the new features. Okay, this is about an first. Okay, encapsulation, that is a binding and logically related data into one simple entity. Okay, see, only an car class data, only an bus class data, only an bird class data, only an animal data. Okay, these are about the encapsulation. Okay, guys, today I done with an constructor and an encapsulation, and I explained about the some examples, coding examples on the how to design a constructor, to provide and to access an instance members to the current class, means we are going to use this keyword about that, and to print, how to print, all those things I have been explained in today's class. In tomorrow's class, let us continue other part of the oops concept. Okay, so I'm going to end here. Thank you, guys.